Hello YouTube and welcome to another video. This time I'll be painting Sam from the Lord of the Rings Mines and Moria kit. But before I do that, I thought I would show you a new painting tray I'm going to be using, which is like a soft wet sponge with some baking paper over the top, which I found out about from Obsidian Painting. So I'll put a link in the description if you wanted to find out more about what this painting palette is used for. So anyway, let's get on with the painting. Now I found Sam to be one of the hardest models to paint so far because he has so many small little bits on his backpack and stuff. So let's begin with stage 1, which is a cloak base coat of Battlegrey. The jacket is in Fenris grey. His trousers are in Charadon Granite. His rucksack, which is like the base of the rucksack, is Khemri brown. His leather and feet hair are Scorched brown, so his feet hair are different to his top of his head. The sausages on his backpack are Scorched brown, so yes, he has sausages attached to his backpack, which is quite cool. The metal is Boltgun metal, where he has like pots, pans, a sword as well. The shirt is Fortress Grey, which is only a tiny bit, but it's still there. The flesh is Tallarn flesh, and the hair is Tausept Ochre, which is like a yellowy colour. So yeah, he's got lots and lots of different parts to him, and in a minute I'll talk to you about his stats and things. But first I thought I'd read out the description that Games Workshop have given him in the book. So it says, Sam is Frodo's stalwart companion and loyal friend. Of all the Fellowship, only Sam is unable to abandon Frodo to his lone journey to Mordor to destroy the ring. Like his master, who I'm assuming is Frodo at this point, Sam comes to discover reserves of courage, quite unexpected in normally placid hobbits. Faced with dangers quite unknown in the Shire, Sam bravely confronts and defeats the dark forces that threaten his master, who is Frodo, I think. So, moving on to his stats now, and we'll start off with his points value, like we start with Frodo, and that is points value of 35, so he's almost half as cheap as Frodo is. But is he just half as good? By these stats, I don't think so. He looks quite good, actually. So he has a might value of 2, a will value of 2, and a fate of 3. So that's 1 less might than Frodo, 1 less will than Frodo, but the same fate. So not bad overall. And looking at his fight, strength, defense and attack, wounds and courage stats, it looks very, very similar to Frodo. So again, same fight stat, which is 3/3+. His strength is 2, which is the same as Frodo's. Defense is 3, same as Frodo's. He has 1 attack, same as Frodo again. 2 wounds, same as Frodo again. And a courage, this time of 5, not 6. So he's 1 less courage. Having said that, like I said in Frodo's video, that courage 5+ is very good. So Sam is still a very good character for almost half the amount of points as Frodo is. As for Sam's war gear, unfortunately he doesn't carry Sting as his sword, but he carries a sturdy blade. And additionally, he can also have the elven cloak that Frodo has, as all the Fellowship can have, for additional 10 points. Now, that's all Sam can get for his war gear, so not many options there. And for his special rules, again, because he's a hobbit, he gets resistance to magic, and he also gets throw stones. So if you want to learn more about them, just watch my Frodo painting tutorial earlier, and that will help you understand all I've just said about all his stats and things. We're about to get on to stage 2 of the painting, and as I have finished now with all of Sam's stats, as they're considerably less than Frodo's, and I don't have to explain them all, I will be talking about something else after stage 2. More than likely it's going to be about the new Lord of the Rings figures that have just come out from Games Workshop. So I'll start talking to you a bit more about them in a minute. Okay, on stage 2 now, which begins with washing a lot of things in Badab black, and these things include the cloak, the jacket, the trousers, the leather and feet hair, the sausages, the metal, and finally the shirt. All of those bits are given a wash of Badab black. So yeah, but basically this stage is basically just giving everyone washes. The only other washes are giving the rucksack a gyrophone sepia wash, and the hair as well gets a gyrophone sepia wash. And finally, the last one, but the only thing that didn't get anything was the flesh, and that gets a wash of organ flesh. Now, like I said a minute ago, Games Workshop have recently brought out a load of new figures, and you can find these figures on their website under Advanced Orders, and they consist of 3 new books, which categorizes all of the models, including the new ones. Oh, sorry, 4 new books. What was it, 5? 4 or 5 new books, and it separates the armies out a lot more better. So we have Kingdoms of Men, the Free Peoples, Mordor, the Fallen Realms, Moria, and Agmar together. So that should be quite interesting to read or have a look at. And I suppose it's like a codex, a new codex is for all of them, but more condensed, so you get more for your money with those. And they've also brought out 23 new sets of figures, which I'll be going into more detail just after we finished this stage, as it's quite a quick one with a few washes. Moving swiftly on to stage 3, we have a cloak highlighted with Battlegrey here, a jacket highlighted with Fenris grey, the trousers are highlighted with Charadon Granite, the rucksack is highlighted with Khemri brown, the leather and feet hair are highlighted with Scorched brown, the sausages are highlighted with dark flesh, the metal is highlighted with Boltgun metal, the shirt is highlighted with Fortress grey, the flesh is highlighted with tan flesh, and the hair is highlighted with Tausept or Ochre, whatever that, can't pronounce that name, but yeah, lots and lots of different bits to paint here. So anyway, on to the new models, and we start off with the army that's gained the most, which is, in my opinion, Easterlings, and they start off with some chiropracts, which are a bunch of 6 guys on horseback, by the looks of it. And to lead these guys, they have a new guy called Amdur, Lord of Blades, and he comes on horseback and on foot as well. You can also get an Easterling Dragon Knight, which looks really cool as he's wielding 2 swords on a horseback. Or you can have an Easterling War Priest, which looks like, again, he's on horseback and he's like holding a religious staff. Another quite cool looking figure is Camel, the Easterling, who is a ring wraith, and he comes on horseback and on foot. And finally, for the Easterlings, we have the Easterling Commander Squad, which are all on foot, and the Haradrim Commanders Squad, which again looks very, very similar, and probably can be used the same type of thing. Moria and Mordor also get a few new units. Starting with the more epic looking models, we have the Watcher in the Water, who is actually out of the water in this one, but looks very well detailed. You also have Dweller in the Dark, which looks like a very small Balrog, but more muscly and much less flamey. And finally, for the epic models, in my opinion, this is the best one, is the Great Beast of Gorgoroth, which is those rhino-looking type beasts, which carry Grond, the big battering ram at the end of the Minas Tirith battle in the 3rd film. So what else have Moria and Mordor got? Well, firstly they got a Warg Marauder, which is a warg with 3 goblins on its back. Then they have Groblog, King of the Deeps, and he is a Moria Goblin King, who is holding onto some kind of pillar, which looks quite good. And finally they have Ashkarat, the Spider King, who is a Goblin Shaman type thing by the looks of him. And a Mordor Orc Shaman as well. Not to mention command squads for Isengard and Orcs and Moria Goblins as well. So everyone gets a command squad by the looks of it in this update. And after the next stage, I'll be talking about what the good guys get from this new upgrade. And now we move on to the final bit of painting, which is stage 4. And this involves highlighting the cloak with Codex Grey, the jacket highlighted with Fortress Grey, the trousers highlighted with Commando Khaki, the rucksack highlighted with Dead Stone, the leather and feet hair highlighted with Beastal Brown, the sausages highlighted with Tallarn flesh, the metal highlighted with mithril silver, the shirt highlighted with commando khaki, the flesh highlighted with elf flesh, and the hair finally highlighted with bleached bone. So, what did the good guys get from this new upgrade of units? Unfortunately, not that much. Like I said before, everyone gets a command squad, so there's Gondor commanders, Rohan commanders, Galadrim commanders, which are the elves, and Dwarf commanders. So not that much to be happy about if you're a good player at this stage. But I'm going to talk about a bit more about something in a minute, which might be quite interesting to you. Which is that so far I've only said 22 units, and the 23rd unit is the Lord of the Rings Casualties set. So in this set you get a bunch of guys who are basically injured or dying or dead, and that contains Ministerial men, dwarfs, Urukai, looks like ring wraiths as well, which is interesting. So these could all be used as like objective markers or just to spruce up a battlefield and make it look a bit more interesting. Now, as the good guys didn't get many upgrades, it got me thinking what kind of units would I like to see Games Workshop release, and I posted a thread on miniwargaming.com about this very subject. And personally, as I'm starting a Rangers of Middle-earth army, which is going to take place in some kind of foresty location, which would be quite cool once I get building terrain and stuff. I would quite like to see those guys on horses, which they haven't released yet, and I think that would be quite a good unit. So I would also like to know what you guys would like to see in more Lord of the Rings fit units and figures that Games Workshop bring out. So please leave a comment below. And we are running close to the end of the video now, so I'm going to say thank you for watching. Like I said, if you want to learn more about the stats and things, check out my Frodo's painting tutorial, and I will probably be coming out with more information about how to play the game later. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel just by pressing the next episode button at the top right hand corner of the screen, and like the video as well. That would be really great, much appreciated. So I'll just say one more time, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again soon with my next video, which should be how to paint Gimli from this Mines of Moria starter kit.